Have you ever felt like no matter how much effort you put into a relationship, something's still missing? Respect is the secret ingredient that builds trust, strengthens bonds, and creates lasting connections. Let's uncover how to cultivate respect and transform your relationships for the better. Start with self-respect. Self-respect is the foundation of every lasting relationship. It sets the tone for how you treat yourself and how others perceive and treat you. Without self-respect, it's easy to fall into patterns of overgiving, tolerating disrespect, or losing your own identity in an effort to please others. Practical ways to build self-respect. Set clear boundaries. Understand what you're comfortable with and communicate it clearly. Example: if you don't like last-minute plans, politely say, "I prefer a heads-up so I can prepare." Boundaries aren't selfish. They're essential for maintaining your emotional health. Recognize your own value. Take time to list your strengths, achievements, and qualities. Celebrate your small wins. It reminds you of your worth. Example: I handled that tough work meeting really well. I'm proud of how I stayed calm under pressure. Don't be afraid to say no. Saying no isn't rejecting others, it's prioritizing yourself. Example: if someone asks you for a favor when you're exhausted, kindly decline. "I'd love to help, but I need some rest. Maybe another time." Avoid negative self-talk. Replace thoughts like "I'm not good enough" with empowering affirmations. Tell yourself, "I'm learning and improving every day. I deserve respect just as I am." Invest in your personal growth. Pursue hobbies, skills, and activities that make you happy. The more you grow as a person, the more confident and self-assured you become, naturally commanding respect. Why this matters? When you respect yourself, you radiate confidence and self-worth, setting the tone for others to treat you the same way. People are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves because it shows strength and authenticity. Start by treating yourself the way you'd want a loved one to be treated, with kindness, patience, and understanding. Building self-respect is the first step toward creating relationships that thrive on mutual respect and trust. Practice active listening. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about fully engaging with what someone is saying and showing them that their thoughts and feelings matter. When you practice active listening, you create a safe space for meaningful conversations, which strengthens relationships. Steps to master active listening. Give your full attention. Eliminate distractions. Put away your phone, turn off the TV, and focus entirely on the person speaking. Maintain eye contact to show you're present. Example: if a friend is sharing their worries, look at them, nod occasionally, and avoid multitasking. Show verbal and nonverbal cues. Use encouraging phrases like "I see," "go on," or "that's interesting." Nonverbal cues such as nodding, leaning in slightly, or smiling can show you're engaged. Avoid negative body language like crossing your arms or looking around the room. Don't interrupt. Let the speaker finish their thoughts before responding. Resist the urge to jump in with advice or your own story right away. Example: if someone is venting about their job, avoid cutting them off with, "Oh, I know how that feels. My boss is even worse." Ask clarifying questions. If something isn't clear, ask questions to understand better. Example: when you say you felt overwhelmed at work, what exactly was causing it? This shows you care about truly understanding their perspective. Paraphrase what you hear. Restate their points in your own words to confirm your understanding. Example: so you're saying you felt unappreciated because your efforts went unnoticed? This makes the speaker feel validated and ensures you're on the same page. Empathize and validate. Acknowledge their emotions without judgment. Example: that sounds really frustrating. I can see why you'd feel that way. Validation strengthens emotional connections and builds trust. Why this matters? When you truly listen, people feel valued and respected, and they're more likely to open up to you. This deepens the bond and makes the relationship stronger. On the flip side, failing to listen can lead to misunderstandings and make others feel ignored or dismissed. Pro tip: practice active listening in small, everyday interactions. Whether it's a colleague discussing a project or a loved one sharing their day, Giving them your full attention makes a significant impact. Active listening isn't just a skill, it's a gift you give to the people you care about. Would you like to include examples for specific scenarios such as workplace, family, or friendships? Value differences. No two people are the same, and that's what makes relationships beautiful. Valuing differences means appreciating what makes each person unique rather than seeing those differences as barriers. This mindset fosters mutual respect, understanding, and growth. How to value differences. See diversity as strength. Recognize that different perspectives can lead to better ideas and solutions. Example: in a group project, instead of dismissing an unconventional idea, explore how it could bring something new to the table. Diversity enriches relationships by broadening your worldview. Practice curiosity over judgment. When faced with beliefs or habits you don't understand, ask questions instead of making assumptions. Example: that's an interesting tradition. Can you tell me more about its significance? Genuine curiosity shows respect and a willingness to learn. Embrace healthy debates. Disagreeing doesn't mean you can't respect each other. Focus on understanding their point of view rather than convincing them to adopt yours. Example: in political discussions, say, "I hadn't thought of it that way before," rather than dismissing their stance. Avoid stereotyping. Treat each person as an individual rather than assuming they fit a general mold based on their culture, gender, or background. Example: instead of assuming someone's preferences based on where they're from, ask, "What's your take on this?" Celebrate unique qualities. Notice and acknowledge what makes someone special. Example: I admire how creative you are. It's inspiring to see how you think outside the box. Celebrating differences fosters deeper connections and appreciation. Why this matters. When you value someone's uniqueness, you're telling them, "I respect you for who you are." This strengthens trust and reduces conflicts, as people feel accepted rather than judged. It also encourages them to reciprocate, leading to a relationship built on mutual admiration. Pro tip: spend time with people from different backgrounds or with different perspectives. The more you expose yourself to diversity, the more you'll grow as a person, and the richer your relationships will become. Valuing differences is about seeing the beauty in what makes us all unique. It's the foundation of respect and meaningful connection. Keep communication honest and clear. Honest and clear communication is the backbone of any lasting relationship. It ensures that both parties are on the same page and minimizes misunderstandings, which can otherwise lead to conflicts or resentment. How to communicate effectively. Be honest but kind. Speak your truth without being harsh. Example: instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when I talk. Can we work on that?" This approach fosters openness without triggering defensiveness. Be direct and concise. Avoid beating around the bush or hinting at what you want. Example: instead of saying, "I wish the house was tidier," clearly state, "Can we work together to clean up the house?" Clarity prevents misinterpretation. Use I statements. Focus on your feelings and experiences rather than blaming the other person. Example: "I feel hurt when plans change last minute" is more constructive than "You always ruin plans." Avoid passive aggressiveness. If something bothers you, address it directly instead of expressing frustration through sarcasm or indirect remarks. Example: instead of saying, "Guess I'll do it myself like always," say, "I could use some help with this task." Check for understanding. Through sharing your thoughts, ask if they understand your perspective. Example: does that make sense to you? I want to be sure I'm being clear. This ensures that both sides are aligned. Why this matters. Clear and honest communication builds trust and prevents unnecessary conflicts. It also creates a safe environment where both parties feel comfortable expressing themselves, leading to deeper connections. Pro tip: practice communication regularly, even in small moments, so it becomes second nature during more important conversations. Being honest doesn't mean being harsh. It means expressing your truth with clarity and compassion. Be reliable. Reliability is about being someone others can count on, which is essential for trust and respect in any relationship. Your actions speak louder than words, and consistency shows that you value the relationship. How to be reliable. Follow through on promises. If you commit to something, make it a priority to deliver. Example, if you promise to meet a friend at 3 p.m., be there on time. Canceling last minute or showing up late sends a message that their time isn't important to you. Be consistent. Show up for people regularly, not just when it's convenient for you. Example, check in on a loved one occasionally even if there's no specific reason. A quick "how are you doing" can mean a lot. Communicate when you can't deliver. Life happens and sometimes you can't follow through. In those cases, let the other person know as soon as possible and offer alternatives. Example, I'm sorry I can't help you move this weekend, but I'd be happy to help you pack on Friday night instead. Be honest about your limitations. Don't overcommit to avoid disappointing someone. It often backfires. Example, instead of saying yes to a project you don't have time for, say, I'd love to help, but I can't give it the attention it deserves right now. Be dependable in tough times. Being reliable during someone's low moments strengthens the bond. Example, if a friend is grieving or stressed, showing up for them, even just to listen, can make all the difference. Why this matters. Reliability shows that you value and respect the other person. Creates a foundation of trust where they know they can count on you when it matters most. Pro tip. Track your commitments, whether personal or professional, to ensure you don't forget or overlook them. Reliability often comes down to organization and intention. Being reliable isn't just about big gestures. It's about showing up consistently in the small and meaningful ways. Show appreciation. Appreciation is a simple yet powerful way to strengthen any relationship. When you express gratitude, you make the other person feel valued, respected, and loved. Over time, this builds a positive cycle of mutual respect and support. Ways to show appreciation. Say thank you often. Don't take acts of kindness for granted, no matter how small. Example, if your partner makes coffee or a colleague helps with a task, a simple "thank you, I appreciate it" goes a long way. Be specific with your gratitude. Let the person know exactly what you appreciate and why. Example, instead of saying, "You're great," say, "I really appreciate how you stayed late to help me finish that report. It meant a lot to me." Celebrate their efforts. Acknowledge their hard work and contributions, even for routine things. Example, you've been so consistent with managing the household chores. It's incredible how you keep everything running smoothly. Surprise them with gestures. Show appreciation through thoughtful actions like a surprise note, small gift, or simply doing something they enjoy. Example, surprise a friend with their favorite snack to thank them for always being there for you. Express appreciation publicly. Highlight their efforts in front of others. Example, I just want to say how much I value your support during this project. Your creativity and ideas really brought it to life. Why this matters. Everyone wants to feel noticed and valued. When you consistently show appreciation, you reinforce positive behavior, deepen the bond, and create a culture of mutual respect. Pro tip. Make it a habit to end each day by expressing gratitude to at least one person in your life. It's a small action with a big impact. Be forgiving. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of lasting relationships because no one is perfect. Mistakes and misunderstandings happen, but choosing to forgive strengthens trust and demonstrates respect for the relationship. How to practice forgiveness. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to feel hurt or upset, but don't dwell on it. Example, I felt hurt when you forgot my birthday, but I know it wasn't intentional. Recognizing your emotions is the first step toward releasing them. Communicate your feelings. Share your perspective without blaming or attacking. Example, when you canceled our plans last minute, I felt disappointed because I was looking forward to it. Choose to let go. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting, it's about releasing resentment. Example, instead of holding a grudge, remind yourself, They made a mistake, and I'm choosing to focus on the positive aspects of our relationship. Set boundaries if needed. Forgiveness doesn't mean tolerating repeated disrespect. Example: I forgive you, but I need us to communicate more clearly moving forward to avoid similar misunderstandings. Practice empathy. Try to see the situation from their perspective. Example: I know they've been overwhelmed at work, so their actions weren't about me, they were struggling. Why this matters. Forgiveness allows you to move past conflicts and focus on the future rather than being stuck in the past. Shows maturity and prioritizes the relationship over temporary hurt. Pro tip: forgiving feels difficult, remind yourself of the relationship's value and the positive memories you share. This helps put the mistake in perspective. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, it strengthens the future by creating space for growth and understanding. Respect boundaries. Respecting boundaries is essential for building trust and ensuring that everyone feels safe and valued in the relationship. Boundaries are not about keeping people out, they are about creating a healthy space where both parties can thrive. How to respect boundaries. Understand what boundaries are. Boundaries can be physical, emotional, or mental. They define what a person is comfortable with and how they expect to be treated. Example: someone might need alone time after a long day to recharge, and that's their boundary. Ask and listen. Don't assume you know someone's boundaries, ask them and respect their responses. Example: is it okay if I call you after work hours, or do you prefer texts? Accept no gracefully. Understand that no is a complete sentence and doesn't need justification. Example: if a friend declines an invitation, don't pressure them or make them feel guilty. Respect privacy. Avoid prying into someone's personal matters unless they invite you to. Example: don't read someone's messages or ask intrusive questions about their private life. Check in regularly. Boundaries can evolve over time. Periodically ask if things are still comfortable. Example: I noticed we haven't talked much lately. Are you okay with how we're communicating? Why this matters. Respecting boundaries creates a sense of security and shows that you value the other person's feelings and comfort. Prevents resentment and ensures the relationship is built on mutual respect. Pro tip: set your own boundaries clearly and enforce them gently but firmly. People will respect you more when they know you respect yourself. Support their growth. Supporting someone's growth means encouraging them to pursue their goals, dreams, and personal development. A relationship thrives when both parties feel free to evolve and grow as individuals. How to support growth. Encourage their aspirations. Show genuine interest in their goals and dreams. Example: if a friend wants to start a business, ask how you can help or simply cheer them on. Celebrate milestones. Recognize and celebrate their achievements no matter how small. Example: I'm so proud of you for sticking with your fitness routine. It's inspiring. Be their sounding board. Offer a listening ear and constructive feedback when they face challenges. Example: that's a tough situation, but I believe in your ability to figure it out. What options are you considering? Avoid comparisons. Support their journey without comparing them to others. Example: instead of saying, "Why aren't you as successful as your coworker?" say, "I see how hard you're working and I'm here to support you." Give them space to explore. Sometimes growth requires independence. Allow them the freedom to learn and try new things without feeling controlled. Example: I trust your judgment. Let me know how I can help. Why this matters. When you support someone's growth, you show that you care about their happiness and success. Builds a deeper bond and helps the relationship evolve positively over time. Pro tip: make it a habit to check in on their goals regularly. A simple "how's your progress going" can remind them you're in their corner. Relationships flourish when both individuals are free to grow and thrive, with each partner cheering the other on.